This man was the greatest golfer in the world, until a bus nearly killed him. The doctors said he would never walk again. His pelvis was shattered, his legs were destroyed, his collarbone was broken. He spent 59 days in that hospital bed. Then he went home and became the US Open champion. His name was Ben Hogan, the greatest ball striker who ever lived. In 1948, he won 10 tournaments, including the US Open and the PGA Championship. His face was on the cover of Time magazine. He was 36 years old and completely untouchable. Nobody could see what was coming. February 2nd, 1949. 4 a.m. Van Horn, Texas. Ben and his wife Valerie stopped for coffee. They had already driven 500 miles east from Phoenix. 500 more miles to go before they reached home in Fort Worth. They got back in the car and pulled onto Highway 80. Into the fog, a Greyhound bus had just overtaken a truck. It was still on the wrong side of the road, on a small bridge, in thick fog. There was nowhere to go. When Hogan saw the bus, he did one thing. He threw himself across Valerie. The steering column punctured the driver's seat, exactly where his chest had been 1 second earlier. Valerie walked away with minor injuries. Ben Hogan spent the next hour trapped in the wreckage, waiting for help to arrive. Broken collarbone, broken rib, double fractured pelvis, broken ankle, internal bleeding. The doctor said he would never walk again. Ben Hogan spent 59 days in that hospital bed. Then he went home and started planning his return. Every morning he wrapped his legs in bandages, from ankle to thigh, and went to the range. His doctors called it impossible. His body called it agony. Ben Hogan called it Tuesday, December 10th, 1949. 10 months after the crash, he played 18 holes for the first time, riding between shots on a scooter, because his legs couldn't carry him the whole way. January 1950. 11 months after nearly dying, Ben Hogan entered the Los Angeles Open. The golf world held its breath. Could he even finish 72 holes on these legs? He finished second, losing in a playoff to Sam Snead, his legs aching with every step. But nobody was laughing at Ben Hogan anymore. June 1950. Merion Golf Club, Pennsylvania. The United States Open Championship, the most prestigious tournament in golf. Ben Hogan arrived with his legs wrapped in bandages, and absolutely nothing to prove, except everything. Sunday, final hole. Hogan needed a par to force a playoff. He stood 213 yards from the pin. He pulled out his 1 iron. The shot he hit has never been forgotten. Pure, perfect, exactly on the flag. A photographer named Hy Peskin captured it. That photograph became the most famous image in golf history. Hogan made his par, forced the playoff, and won. 16 months after a bus nearly killed him. After 59 days in hospital. After being told he would never walk again. Ben Hogan won the United States Open Championship. They called it the Miracle at Merion. It remains the greatest comeback in the history of sport. New York City gave him a ticker tape parade. Broadway lined with thousands of people. For a golfer. That's how big this was. Ben Hogan went on to win 9 major championships, 6 of them after the crash, on legs that hurt every single day for the rest of his life. He never complained. He just outworked everyone. If you can't outplay them, outwork them. Ben Hogan.